my fluid emotions, my fluid emotions, fluid emotions energize, fluid emotions stabilize.
So I guess to kind of wrap it up a little bit.
No, okay.
I know. It's hard.
Good. It's good.
It's such a great conversation. Both conversations.
Yeah.
What's next for you in terms of not just music, with writing, with all of the things that you want to do? And I asked this because it's funny because me and my wife, we had a conversation before I even got here, and she was saying how she, she's in nursing school, but she wants to do hair again. And I was like, and it kind of connects to something we were talking about earlier, in terms of doing it all. Like, if you're talented to do more than one thing, exactly,
Right.
you can do it all.
Yeah.
You can do it all.
I believe that.
So for you, I know you're doing so many different things. What more is on the horizon for not just Steph Singz, but Dr. Steph? all of the different things that you envision for yourself.
Right now, the fire for Steph Singz is burning so brightly. That's really all I see.
Okay.
Everything else is on the periphery.
Got you.
Right? And so I see that Grammy.
I was about to say, yeah. Don't hope you ain't forgot the
I
Grammy.
see the Grammy. And
can't forget the Grammy.
No, and I see. Can I tell that story real fast?
Absolutely, please do.
I see the Grammy because I've seen a milestone of success in my life before. When I went to Penn State University straight from high school, and I went to a small school, and so I wanted to go to a small college. My mom was like, absolutely not. You're going to Penn State main campus. I'm thinking, no, she's throwing me into the wolves. That's how I felt. Yeah. And so in order for me to survive in that Penn State main campus environment, I threw myself into things that were familiar to me. So I was in the gospel choir. I was in, oh my goodness gracious, I actually pledged that we didn't want to have the conversation. But anyways, and so I started getting in talent shows, and I kept winning. And then the pageant of Miss Black Penn State came about, and my friends were like, you should get in a pageant. I was like, no, that's too much high exposure. I was comfortable as long as I was winning on a small scale. And so this is kind of actually a lesson for me. Eventually, I got out of the pageant because I was intimidated by the large scale of it. And the venue that it was held in, Schwab Auditorium, held 1,000 people. Now, Penn State University is a massive university. It's its own city.
Yes, it is. Yes, I know.
And so I would have to catch a bus to get from one end of the campus to another end of the campus. State College is like, it's no joke.
Bigger than Altoona, bigger than
Erie. Yeah, it's huge.
Yes, it is.
It's huge.
Yeah, I've been to all of them.
Yeah, so you totally get it. So I got in the pageant and I got out, and my friends was like, you should really get back. I was like, no, it's too much. I was like, get back in the pageant. Yeah. So I got back in the pageant. I'm figuring I don't know anybody, and that was one of the reasons why I got out of it, because I felt uncomfortable. I didn't go to school with any of the other African American students because they went to public school and I went to an all-girls Catholic school, so we didn't know each other, and they already had built relationships from going to football teams. This person went to Dobbins, that person went to Northeast. They kind of knew each other, and I'm like, so that was my way of kind of trying to connect with my peers, right? Yeah. So we're rehearsing, and they gave us a list of questions to answer. Back then, they were talking about the Atlanta murders, and they were asking us, I think there was 20 questions that I had to write a narrative for, so if the question came up, I would have an answer for it. That was the one that I didn't have an answer for. So my mom, the night before, I had a dream, and in my dream, that question came up because I dreamt about the pageant, and I answered the question perfectly, and they said, in my dream, and the new Miss Black Penn State is Stephanie Marshall, and there's, I woke up, and my mom says, so, are you nervous? And she's bringing my cousin with my gown and all the stuff that they had to bring from Philly. And I was like, no, I'm not nervous. She's like, you're not? I said, no. She's like, why? I said, because I already won. She was like, oh, no, you don't want to talk like that because, people won't like you when you talk like that. And I'm thinking, but I know.
Right. Yeah.
She was like, well, and she was like, well, how do you know? I said, because I dreamt it. And it was very vivid in my dream, and I feel it in my bones that I am Miss Black Penn State. So the pageant comes, and I get to the venue, and I feel like I need to stack the cards a little bit because nobody knows me.
Yeah.
And since I went to Catholic school, you know, you multi-language when you go to Catholic school.
Right. Yeah.
So I knew French. I can't speak a lick of it now because I have no one to converse with for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself in French, which was a big, you know, and the judges were sitting right here.
Yeah.
And since my mom taught me to smile all the time, I smiled and winked at all of them. Right? I actually did that.
Yeah.
And I spoke in French, and I translated it. My brother had went to Senegal, and he brought me back this beautiful piece of tapestry. And so I used it to cover myself on the bathing suit scene. So I kind of left the audience with something to kind of be like, whoa, what she got on under there?
Yeah.
Everybody else walked out in a two-piece bikini. It was kind of like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
I did my whole thing, and when I turned around, I draped it and let it hit the floor. It was like, whoa! So I really stacked the deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then they had the questions, and the question that came up was the question about the Atlanta murders. And I said to myself, I got this because I dreamt it and I remembered the answer. So I said that answer, and we were all standing there, and it said, and the new Miss Black Penn State for Stephanie Marshall. And I was like,
Yeah.
and my mom was she was so surprised that she had this look on her face like she was angry. So in all of my pictures, she's like this.
Wow.
And that actually hurt my feelings because I wanted her to be happy for me. But I think she was so shocked that I actually told her, and she was like, and I was like, but I knew it in my bones.
And when you know, you know.
And I know. So to take a long road back to answering your question, that is what's next for me.
Yeah.
Whether I continue to see the Grammy in my dreams or whether I hold one in my hand, I see it like I'm looking at you.
Wow.
And that is my next goal.
Wow.
With my unconventional lyrics, out of pocket, not following a format self, I still believe that it's for me. And what's for you? My mom says, what's for you? You know it's your face. And if I'm looking at it, then it knows my face because I see it.
Right. It is.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what's next for me.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
So
indeed.
who knows how long it's going to take? Who knows? But I feel it's coming pretty quickly. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am Steph Singz. Please do that.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And please plug all your social
Yes.
media as well.
So
And the book.
And
I'm
book.
the author of 2 books from the Panic to Empowerment series. They're on Amazon. And you'll see my face. And that picture on the book, my hair is brown. Right? I'm not changing the cover of the book either. But anyway, my YouTube channel is I am Steph Singz. My Instagram handle is I am_Steph Singz. And my Facebook page is Stephanie Singz. So you can find me in so many ways. My website is drstephanieyhp.com. So there's a lot of ways to find me. But for this interview, just connect with me at Steph Singz. Dr. Steph might be on vacation, an extended vacation for a minute, because that's my fire. That's my dream. I've been singing before I was anything else. And I'm just reaching for that goal now. And I wouldn't even call it going backwards. I would say just reaching for it.
Yes.
And so if you have a dream, just reach for it.
Yes.
Without apology, just do it.
Yes.
And don't feel like you got to change anything before you reach for it. Just reach and see what happens. Right? That's it.
Yes. Well, I think that's a perfect way to put a bow on it. You know? So we'd like to thank you so much for sitting down with us a second time.
Yeah.
Hopefully another a third or fourth or fifth coming up soon.
But thank you so
Thoroughly
much
enjoyed it.
for telling your story and being such an inspiration. Like this was such a really inspirational interview. you know what I'm saying, a conversation. I don't want to call it an interview. It's more like a conversation.
My fire is now being a little sparked.
Same here.
Cool.
Same here. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
That's called being awoken.
Yes.
I feel the pulse of your heartbeat, like drums beating in my chest.
Yes, indeed.
I hear your breath in my ear, a melody that eases my fears, wipes away my tears. I'm awoken.
Yes. So thank you so much for sitting down
Thank
with
you.
us. And we also have to shout out once again.
Yay!
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, manager
Thank
extraordinaire.
you.
Yes,
I thank
indeed.
you. I thank you.
She belongs to me.
Thank you guys.
I share her with other people, but you know, she's mine. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for being on Bars on the Road with us. And
Thank you.
We'll be connecting real soon and you know, supporting you however we can.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it. I can't wait to see what we're going to do next.
Absolutely.
What's next?
You working on
Thanks
it,
again.
working on it all at
Thank
the
you.
same time.
Fluid emotions energize. Fluid emotions stabilize. Fluid emotions harmonize. In my safe space, fluid emotions stabilize.